Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC16 Today.
Good morning, Western Oregon. Thank you for waking up with me here on NBC16 Today. I'm Zach Bruhl. Angela Yamamoto has the day off. We'll get to your top stories in just a moment, but first things first, we take a look out the door at our weather forecast as we get started on this Thursday morning. It's a cool start to our day. All is calm, pretty gorgeous shot through our Roseburg Tower cam to get the day going, and things are pretty cool. We've had a couple degree drop-offs over the past couple days, kind of stacking on top of each other. So while 4 degrees cooler in Eugene, 7's pretty significant down in Roseburg, you combine that with what you saw yesterday, a 4 to 5 degree drop off as well, and it's pretty significant when you think about those both things combined. Now, the reason for both of that is that the clouds have really lifted and cleared out of the area, so warm air that's been around has escaped out of the area and left us with near freezing temperatures along the I-5 corridor. Not quite as cool out on the coast, but still 40 degrees is much cooler than the 45 to maybe 50 degree temperatures we were waking up with earlier in the week. Now, we're going to see the warm weather begin to take hold later this afternoon, but still things will cool off overnight, get down into the 30s. It's not until the weekend and early part of next week that we start to see some really warm weather begin to take hold. Stick around for my full forecast when I'll talk all about that. But now we head to the roadways where our live shot buddy LSB out there giving us a look at traffic this morning. We are back on the I-5 freeway looking at the Glenwood exit, facing southbound under some partly cloudy skies. Dry road conditions out there on the interstate so far this morning, but some cool temperatures. So if you do run across any patches of moisture, do be careful. It's 33 degrees at our traffic vehicle, so potential for some slick conditions if there's any moisture combined with those really cool temperatures. Wind not a factor, just 2 miles an hour blowing over there at our traffic vehicle right now. Best news is that even with the light to medium traffic flow, there are no vehicle accidents to report. Oh, but there's a flying thumb. That's because there's also no delays to slow you down. So, you know, it's a thumbs up day for our live shot buddy out there. He's going to cruise to his next mocha after this. Thanks, buddy. A $15 million bond is set for the city of Eugene this May. Now, the city council finalized its plan on Wednesday to include the bond in this May's election. The money would go towards a new multi-use facility at the Lane County Fairgrounds. Now, during Wednesday's work session, the city council went over the wording in the voter pamphlet for the bond. The council agreed it wants to remain neutral on the matter and let the bond be approved by the voters or denied. If the bond does pass, the estimated average cost to the taxpayers would be an additional $22 per year. And Oregon Governor Tina Kotek is asking the Biden administration to declare January's ice storm a major disaster in order to get additional recovery funds. If approved, state, tribal, and local governments will have access to supplemental FEMA grants to help recovery efforts across the state. Now, the declaration names Lynn, Benton, Coos, and Lane County alongside 7 others that experienced significant damage, as well as the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians. According to the state, the preliminary assessment of the damage done by the storm comes out to less than $50 million. It typically takes the government 6 weeks to respond to these types of requests. Back here locally, the Eugene Police Department has received more than $900,000 to replace police body cameras and in-car video systems. The money came from a federal grant, which was just approved by Congress last week. And our Juliet Smith went down to the police department to learn more about why this grant was so important.
EPD first got body cameras in 2017 and in-car video systems in the early 2000s. But these cameras need to be replaced every 5 years.
It allowed our officers an extra level of accountability, but it also gave them a certain amount of evidence collection.
The city of Eugene funded a new contract with Axon Cameras for Police, which cost more than $2.6 million over the next 5 years. And with help from the fiscal year 2024 appropriations package, this $900,000 grant will go back to the city.
The body-worn camera system has become absolutely vital to the way that we do our work.
All sworn officers now have them.
The old ones were end of life, the batteries were not lasting throughout a shift, and we expect our equipment to be able to perform 100%.
Video evidence storage has become an expensive and growing concern for the city, and the new contract allows them unlimited storage.
So when an officer comes on duty, they're going to get dressed, get all their equipment on, they're going to come and grab their body-worn camera. Each is assigned to the individual officer. At the end of their shift, they come back and they put it back in any of these holes here. It charges and uploads all the videos.
Officer Kevin Bundy says it's become second nature.
It's definitely very useful to review. I think most of the time we rely on our memory, but in some situations where it's maybe too chaotic, then we definitely can watch the video.
The video uploads automatically and matches up each recording with service calls. And just like the body cameras, these new car cameras are a game changer. They provide impartial footage, which in some cases can be crucial. The body camera footage appears right away on this laptop. EPD says both camera systems will continue to bridge trust and transparency between law enforcement officials and those in our community. In Eugene, I'm Juliette Smith reporting.
Now, Police Chief Chris Skinner thanked both senators for supporting the body camera and in-car video program, reiterating that the cameras hold EPD officials accountable. In a statement, he said, in part, the systems assist the Eugene Police Department in our commitment to accountability and transparency by recording interactions between police officers and the public, capturing evidence, and providing an impartial accounting of events.
I am going to bed at night thinking if my unemployment benefits don't come through, the benefits to which I'm legally entitled under state and federal law, am I going to have to sell my house?
Dozens of Oregonians are reporting that they're unable to get their unemployment claims processed. The Employment Department says its new computer systems are working well, but the applicants we're hearing from say it's anything but functional. Some believe the $106 million software the department just rolled out may have some serious bugs. The department heads say it all boils down to new users not being used to the new system. Salem Bureau reporter Christina Giardinelli is asking state agencies about these issues.
Diana Barnes-Brown's call history shows 43 outbound calls yesterday alone, all to the Oregon Employment Department. Each one met with this response. It's a tone she says she hears multiple times a day as she works to get answers about her unemployment claim. It's shown as suspended since the Employment Department switched its computer systems over a week ago.
Instead, I get a questionnaire that says, you told us that you have been away from your labor market for more than 3 days.
She says she never indicated being away from her job search when she filled out information in the new system.
It seemed really fishy to me, and I started looking online, and I was finding all of these people who were talking about having encountered the same error.
Before being laid off in October, she worked in tech and tells me part of her role was listening to user issues and diagnosing software problems.
It's very hard to know exactly what's going on without looking at the code, but typically when you have a bug that is creating a complete lack of ability to access services, that would be called a critical incident.
Barnes-Brown believes that's the case with this new software. Lindsay Leahy, Unemployment Insurance Division Director, says the user is causing this.
And that some people are inadvertently telling us that there is an eligibility issue when there actually isn't one.
And this is multiple people getting the same error that's putting them in suspense. What are you using to diagnose that and to say it's not a software error?
One of the advantages that we have with the new system is that we have a lot more insight into what happens. So if somebody goes through and they are working through a session, we have the ability to actually see what they saw on the screen and what they clicked and what they typed.
I'm Christina Giardinelli reporting.
Those affected by the 2020 Labor Day wildfires will be able to get state financial assistance later this year. Starting March 25th, applicants can fill out a questionnaire to see if they qualify for assistance through the Homeowners Assistance and Reconstruction Program. This is phase one of HARP, which helps low and moderate income households. Those who don't qualify this time may qualify for future phases of the program if additional funding is available. And a grand opening took place at Roseburg High School on Tuesday night to introduce residents to a brand new sports complex. Rigo Aguilera visited the new fields to learn more.
The field is part of the district's work on a new sports complex for the high school. District staff say that the project began a few years ago due to a complaint filed with the Oregon Department of Education. The complaint concerned a funded artificial turf at Bill Gray Legion Stadium that was used by the RHS baseball team. The artificial turf was considered an unfair advantage due to the softball team continuing to play on a non-turfed softball field at Stewart Park. When the complaint was filed, the district was required to make this fix due to a federal law that prohibits discrimination based on sex in education programs, athletics, and extracurricular activities. The district says they had limited options and a limited time period for making this important fix. With careful planning in their business operations department, the district was able to use the funds from their emergency savings account. The new softball field was largely funded through this year's and last year's budget to complete the project by the legally required deadline of spring 2024. RHS coaches say this was a great chance for the school to get some upgrades for their fields that will allow other classes and programs to enjoy.
Oh, it gives them the opportunity for an extra facility. Like football now, they could use that for a practice field. They have a facility now for PE, so it opens up all kinds of options for Roseburg High School.
RHS softball team members also agree this will give them more opportunities. For them, it's the chance to increase fan participation.
I like that the field is on campus because it's hoping we can get more people out here to watch our games because we don't get a lot of people out here. I think it should be good because if we get everybody on campus, I feel like the whole school should support more. If it's not, you don't have to drive somewhere else to watch.
The high school has been playing on public parks for over 30 years. All future games will take place on the new fields. Reporting in Roseburg, I'm Rigo Aguilera.